Can my parents buy the house, Renee asks, and then sell it back to me, or can I stay in the house through the short sale process and then pay them rent when it's over? What do you think about that?
That's another no.
That's a loaded question, isn't it?
It's a loaded question, but it's actually a very good question.
It is a very good question. I want you to walk us through it. It says, can my parents buy the house? Let's start there.
No.
Period. Okay, let's go to part 2 of the question. Obviously, they can't buy it. They can't sell it back to you. Or can I stay in the house through the short sale process and then pay them rent when it's over?
No.
Tell us why. What's the restriction there?
Okay. Very similar to my previous answer where the lenders want to try to punish the borrowers as much as they possibly can for not meeting their obligations. A lot of times, think about this concept. Is the bank going to come to you and say, your property is worth more money? So now, I know we signed a note for $100,000, but let's look at the percentage that your property has appreciated. So now we want you to pay us an additional 20% because your property has appreciated 20%, okay? The banks don't do that. So the banks take the opposite position right now and say, why should we have to take a hit? Why should we have to take a loss? And they know their answer because the economy is in the status that it is right now. The real estate market is what it is. So what happens is they try to punish the borrowers as much as possible. Most lenders will send something either at the approval process or within 24 hours prior to closing called an affidavit of arm's length transaction. I never know when they're coming. I never know the terms and conditions that are going to be in them. But I can tell you there is some mild consistency that varies from lien holder to lien holder. And the concept is this. The owners of the property have to vacate the property. It has to be an arm's length transaction. You cannot sell it to your parents. The goal is by the banks to punish you. You have to vacate the property. You don't get to enjoy it any longer. And can you move back in? No, you can't move back in. Why? What could happen? Well, in signing this affidavit, which we all know what an affidavit is, you are attesting to the statements contained in that affidavit that they're true and accurate. And you don't want to be in a position where your file could be audited at some point in time in the future, and now you're found to have frauded the bank, and now you're, yes?
You know I take issue with that, but go ahead.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay. And now all of a sudden, you're found back in the property that you had made a presentation to the bank and said, look, this is my hardship, this is why I need to get out. Oh, and hey, by the way, now I'm back in it 24 months later. So no, you cannot do that.
Okay.